Hey guys, welcome to this video on the case expression in TSQL or SQL Server. In part 28 of the last video, we had looked at the insert into select statement. Today we will look at the case expression, or as it's sometimes known, the case when expression. So the case expression is basically a way to format the output from a specific column or set of columns based on the data it contains, sort of like an if-else operator in regular programming. And it's basically it says if something equals this, then display or output this specific information. And you can do this multiple times with different criterion. And so let's look at the syntax and it'll become more clear to you. So we've got the case expression goes through conditions and returns a value when the first condition is met. So once a condition is true, it will stop reading and return the result. If no conditions are true, it will return the value in the else clause. And if there are no else clauses specified, or if there is no single else clause specified and no conditions are true, it returns a null value. And we've got the syntax here below. It's basically the case keyword, and then you use the when then operators to specify each condition and the specific output for that condition. So you do case when condition 1, then result 1, and then you can specify multiple conditions and results, and finally you use the else to specify the result if none of the conditions are met, and then you put an end. So we'll use that in the demonstration, and it should become even more clear for you. So let's dive in. Before we begin with the demo, just to let you know the environment we've got set up, I'm on Azure Data Studio because I'm on a Mac. If you're on a Windows, you'll probably be using SQL Server Management Studio. So I've got installation guides to both of these depending on your OS, and they would have come up on the top right corner of your screen. Also, I'll link to a GitHub repository in the description below, which has two files, one with the sample data tables that we will be using in this demo, and one with the exact queries that I'm going to demonstrate for you. So you can go check them out if you need help, or if you want to follow along with the video with the same data that I'm using. So now let's dive into the demonstration and look at the sample data that we're using. So I've just created the sample table called students, and it's got an ID, a first name, a last name, an email, a gender, and an age. So here, suppose we wanted to just basically use the case expression to identify if people were old or young based on the age. So that is a sample scenario for using the case expression. So what we would do is we would do a basic select statement and specify the columns that we want to return. So we could, in this instance, we could use first name, last name, and age, and put a comma, and then after the comma we use the case expression and the syntax that I had mentioned to you earlier. So the case expression is sort of like the next column that is being specified in the select. So you need to put a comma there, whereas normally you wouldn't if you were just returning the first 3 rows. The case expression is like the 4th row of the table that you are returning, so you need a comma at the end of the last normal column that you're querying from the sample data. So case, then we use the when and specify the conditions. I'm just going to keep it simple and write when age greater than 50, then we can call them older. I want to say old because people might get upset with me. And for people who are younger than 50 or younger than or equal to 50, I'm going to specify then younger, and because I'm returning a string value, it needs to be in single quotes. And I can also specify the else condition. If the age is not greater than 50 or less than or equal to 50, which is probably a mathematical impossibility, then they are an alien. So that should be fine. And then we do the end command. So basically everything, this case till the end keyword, is basically the 4th column in this specific table that we are querying, result table that we are querying, and then we can just do the from students. So now when we run the statement, we should see a fourth column that marks people as older or younger based on the age in that column. So as you can see, we've got this new column here, and based on the age we've got people marked older or younger and things like that. And right now it's not very clear to us what this column is. So just to make it easier, you can use an alias. So after the end keyword you could put a as and specify what you want that column to be headed as. So in my scenario, I'm going to use age category. Now we run this again, and you can see that we've got age category here. And just to let you know, if you are using the case expression on age, you don't need to have specifically queried the age column before using the case operator. So we could run this table and it would work just fine. So as you can see, it's working just fine. And yeah, so in this example I've just used 2 when and then conditions, but you can use as many as you want, so long as they don't as they are logically sound. And yeah, so that's basically it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, and hit the bell icon. See you in the next one.